Yeah. Yeah, Shitish, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute. So, considering my dissertation, I was basically doing what you told us to do yesterday. But actually, the problem that I encountered was that it doesn't apply to my dissertation because my dissertation mainly focuses on like 3D representation of household and prediction basis, like
Mm-hmm.
predict through machine learning and through like interactive media.
So how will
So
you get to know whether your machine learning algorithms are working or not?
by testing them.
Yeah. So which particular testing you do require?
No, but I thought yesterday we had like we had to design the what do you call it?
Decision table.
Sorry,
Decision table testing.
I'm sorry, ma'am, you're
Hello.
not audible. Uh,
Am I audible right now? We have done the
Yeah, yes,
decision
yes, yes,
table
yes.
testing yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, so we had to design the tables where we set up a few conditions and like we come up with the proper procedure. So I could not design that table
Mm-hmm.
because I was
Fine.
having difficulty with that respective to otherwise black box testing and white box testing are covered
No, no,
where
no. So, white box, so we haven't discussed it because there are going to be the different challenges as well in the white box. So we haven't discussed it, the white box. I'm just
okay.
see. So you must be writing some of the algorithms.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Those algorithms must be covering some of the what you can say is need to be tested on some of the data.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Those algorithm needs to be tested on some of the data, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So they must be having some of the conditions as well.
Yes, ma'am. Certain conditions, actually, the data is like openly available to the public. So it's not the data, it's mainly the algorithms itself that what kind of
Uh-huh.
algorithms am I using and what are the
Okay, fine.
procedures.
So decision table is not with respect to the data, it is with respect to the algorithm, whether your algorithm
Yes,
is
sir.
working fine or not. Any of
Yes,
the
ma'am.
testing is with respect to the algorithm because algorithm is a process. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
but what it is going to cover, the dynamicity of the data. When you go with the black box testing, the data has to be quite, what you can say is quite fixed. The ranges are going to be quite fixed.
Yes, ma'am. So in my case, the black box testing would be like there would be no revealing of as to how like what algorithms are used, but we can test it by getting
Mhm.
random data from people or collecting it from people and like telling them or asking them to use the application itself without
Mhm.
them knowing as to how the application works in the first place. So what
Mhm.
we will ask them is to reveal like housing prices because the main feature of my dissertation is that we predict house prices of the how what do you call it real estate and
Mhm.
we use it through machine learning. So they do not know about the algorithms, but they will reveal their housing prices and they will send the data to us. And
It's fine. But see, you are aware of the algorithm. See, whoever is sending the data, Kshitesh, I'm not bothered about. I'm bothered about whatever the data I'm going to get, whether my algorithm is working on that particular data or not. Isn't it? I'm bothered
but
about only
they
those things.
but they do not know na, as to how it works. So it is like protected in some way,
No, no,
and
no, no.
that too.
Just hold on. Kshitesh, just hold on. It's not
Yes,
their
ma'am.
responsibility. It's your responsibility. It's your
I know, ma'am.
responsibility, yeah, because you are the developer. Okay. Tester is not at all aware of. Testers are going to write, okay, this test case is pass and this test case is fail. That's it. Not more than that. But if it is going to fail, it is going to come to you again.
Yes,
You're getting my point? Yeah, because testers are not able to resolve. You are going to resolve them. So you must be aware of that your test case must be able to absorb each and every data set successfully.
Yes, sir. So the general idea is because because we don't own any of the real estate properties or so, and it's
Mm-hmm.
owned by any of the like people or like general public itself. Like someone owns a house or someone owns a flat or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
my main purpose to send them the APK of the application or any or the installation of the application is to fetch
Mm-hmm.
data from them and to ask them to enter certain details and test it on our behalf. And why I'm asking them to test is because they are the ones who know about as to what it works. So, like, at what rate they bought the property, at what rate they're going to sell the property if they ever think of selling it, and we need those entries because and after
Kshitish, I
collecting, let's
believe your
say,
project is was all about the game designing.
I yes, ma'am, that was my initial project, but I thought we had to talk about a dissertation.
No, no, no. See, whichever the way, I'm not saying that you need to talk about the game design or the dissertation. Because I want whatever we have discussed
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
on the table, decision table, that thing you need to apply.
I was under the impression that we had to discuss related to a dissertation.
No, no, no. Those applications are why I asked the dissertation because many of the students are applying this concept on their dissertation project. That's why.
Okay, okay. Well, I cleared my black box testing regarding my game designing area.
I am aware of that you cleared all those things, but I'm asking you to go into the detail of what see those values which you could have missed or which you can miss during the boundary value analysis or the the range when you are defining.
Okay, okay. Uh, then I will get back to you, ma'am, later
Yeah,
again.
please. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll have
You think
to
over
like
it. You think over
yes,
it.
ma'am.
Then get back to me last in the this today's class. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am.
In today's class at 5:30, I will call your name.
In after an hour.
Yeah, at 5:30. That means the end of the class.
Okay, okay, okay.
Fine,
Sure,
so
ma'am.
I'm giving you that much time. Yeah. Anyone else? Yes, all the participants.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Who is it?
Ma'am, this is Wilfred.
Yes, Wilfred. Tell me.
So, ma'am, we don't have to present that decision table today.
No, but you need to take
Okay.
care about the case study, what you are going to have for those decision table, the functionality of the if then else, where you are going to plug in the different kind of conditions.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I thought that we had to present today, so I was making mine just before this.
No, it's fine. You see, even if you are even if your presentation is ready, I do not have any problem with that. It is totally fine with me.
Okay, ma'am.
Would you like to present, Wilfred?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, if
Shall
you
I
can
give
make
you
me the
the presenter
presenter.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold on. Yes, here you go. Wilfred, you are a presenter right now.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Yes, ma'am. So this was like a very basic decision table for the login module that we have already covered.
Mm-hmm.
So, ma'am, I made another one which was a bit bigger than this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yes, ma'am. So this is for like adding data into a table, like
Mm-hmm.
insertion part. So, ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
my four conditions are if the table is present in the database,
Mm-hmm.
if the number of inputs given in the statement are correct,
Mm-hmm.
if the correct data type is there for the inputs and if the size of the input is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And ma'am, accordingly, there is a successful data input and incorrect data input. So ma'am, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to list out this.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So ma'am, when all the four conditions will be correct, only then will the data be entered into the table. On
Mm-hmm.
any other combination of these four conditions, the data will not be entered.
Mm-hmm.
So ma'am, this is like the table for it, and then this is the test cases for
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The 16 cases, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, do you have the eight conditions? How exactly? How many conditions do you have?
Ma'am, there are four conditions.
Four conditions. Okay. 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 Fine.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yes. So, which functionality you are using the login functionality,
No,
and
ma'am, this is the adding table, adding a
adding the
data into
table. That's
table.
what I'm saying. And adding the table. So, for the login functionality, you must be having four or how many? Six. Sorry, eight.
No, ma'am, I think there's only two. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And
Two.
four, yeah.
Fine, fine. So two conditions are there. That means the
Yeah,
four test cases are
four
going to be there.
cases, yeah.
Okay, fine. Mm-hmm.
This was the adding into
Okay,
table.
fine. Very nicely done, Wilfred. I must appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, ma'am.
I do not remember Wilfred, your face exactly. One day I do not remember anyone except Sumit. I do remember him. Kshitij, I do remember. But one day I would like to, ask you. Okay, just put your camera on. We will have face-to-face discussion, isn't it?
Someday, yes, ma'am, someday.
Because I forgot most of the students.
थोड़ा रेडी होके
Yes,
आ जाएं।
क्या हुआ सुमित?
मैम बता देना एक दिन पहले ताकि रेडी होके आ जाए।
बिल्कुल
शक्ल
बिल्कुल
देख
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल चलेगा चलेगा है ना चलो okay Wilfred, so I will dismiss you from the presenter list.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyone else? Yes, anyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is it?
Smith.
Yes, Smith.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. Can you give presenter rights to Kushan,
Sure.
please? Kushan. Yeah.
Kushan. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, Kushan, you are presenter right now. Yeah, tell me, Smith. Can you please, increase the font size? It is not at all visible to me. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Please slide up कर दे Kushan. Scroll up कर दो. Yeah, ma'am. So we have come up with six test cases, conditions for our project to work successfully.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
First one is the app responsive?
mm-hmm,
Uh, are the beacons able to detect devices and create virtual walls?
mm-hmm.
Uh, is permission request granted? Uh, is OTP
Okay.
authentication successful?
Mm-hmm.
Then the student and administrator interaction, and is the student virtual ID assigned?
Okay.
So, uh, Kushan, scroll कर, right. So, these are so we have
So these are the
this is
conditions or
table.
what exactly? No, but whatever you have written, are these the
Yeah.
conditions?
Yes, ma'am. Like all the conditions need to be fulfilled. Every condition needs to be true, so as to get our project to work perfectly.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when all the conditions are true, the result will be true, which means
So these
Uh,
are the conditions. So you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 to the power 6
6.
test cases.
Yeah, 64.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So we did that. Uh, so these are all the different combinations we tried. And the last row is about the final decision.
Fine. So can you explain me with respect to the conditions, all the combinations? Just minimize the things because I have seen now the conditions. You can minimize.
Yes, an explanation is in. I didn't get your point.
No, I have seen the, your conditions I have seen. Now you can minimize and explain me how exactly the conditions are getting executed.
Uh, yes, ma'am, for example, first one is the app responsive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So different people will maybe using different devices with the different screens, right? Screen sizes. Teachers
Mm-hmm.
may use laptops or on the whiteboard, present on the whiteboard. So there the screen size may be very large.
Mm-hmm.
Students may use it on the phone. So our app should be responsive enough to catch all the different sizes, right? So it will be it will go in vain if it is not working with all the sizes, because
Mm-hmm.
some only a few people will be able to see and others won't be able to see. So if it is responsive, then only it is useful for everyone and everyone will be able to see the result, the attendance and all.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the app's responsiveness. Then the beacons are able to detect devices and create virtual wall.
Mm-hmm.
That is the core part of our project. If the virtual walls are not created and or the devices are not detected, then attendance won't be marked. So that is again that is the base of our project. So that needs to be tested well. So that needs to be true. Then the permission request granted. Like permission request will be asked from every teacher and student for their from their devices for Bluetooth. So if any student or teacher by mistake does not allow the permission for Bluetooth, their devices won't be recognized. So even if they will be present, they won't be marked present. Right.
Okay.
Then the OTP authentication successful. Like we'll be doing OTP authentication so as to register the device with a virtual ID. So there won't be any ambiguity like same device getting registered twice or two devices getting same virtual IDs. It won't happen because of OTPs. So every device needs to be authenticated with OTP.
Okay. Fine.
Then student administrator interaction. It
Mm-hmm.
will be like all the crude operations, create, delete, and all. So, uh,
CRUD. It is called as CRUD. Okay.
CRUD. Okay, okay. Sorry. Yeah, and and last one is the virtual ID assignment. Like, is the virtual ID assigned? So when the OTP will be successful, the virtual ID will be assigned. So uh, if no technical errors are there, then the virtual ID will be assigned. So it is also important part to test.
So
Like,
when it is going to
OTP.
be false completely, or when it
Sorry.
is going to not accept anything, every condition is going to be false. So decision table testing is going to return the false.
Yeah, like no, like I guess we are assuming an and operator over here because all the test cases needs to be true for our project to work completely. So because any one of these six goes like if does not work, then the project may not work perfectly. So only when all the test cases are true, then the result will be true. If any one is also false, then it should not be true. But I guess we have mistaken here. Uh,
Fine, fine.
Yeah, ma'am. Apologies for the last row. Actually, in result we have actually written true, but it should be false. Like if
That's what I was
really sorry, ma'am.
that's what I was saying that okay, that's what I asked the specific condition to you. Fine, not
Okay.
a problem, but you realize yourself, not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so
Right.
just do one thing, Smith. What you can
Yes,
do
ma'am.
is because the 16 test cases you have created, it is going to be quite large, isn't it? And
Yes,
most
ma'am.
of them may be covering the similar kind of thing. So now what you do is you can find out some of the test cases. Yesterday, the way we were discussing about, if you do remember, we were discussing about uh, combining the test cases. Do you remember that yesterday one of the students has
Yes.
asked me this? So the test cases which are returning the false, you can combine them.
Okay.
Okay, so the output is if any other condition is going to be so, you need to see where they are different. Okay, if they are different in the last condition, so some of the test cases you can combine. So that's how the
Okay.
decision table is going to be quite, crisp.
Okay. Right.
Fine.
Ma'am, can you explain with one example? Actually, I'm not very clear.
Okay, so in the next class, I'm going to do that particular example.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So I will dismiss your question from the presenter. Anyone else? Yes. Anyone else?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Who is it?
I'm Nishmita here.
Yes, Nishmita.
Ma'am, can I present?
Sure. I will give you the presenter rights. Yes. Go ahead, Nishmita.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so my project is the virtual keyboard. So I have two conditions. One is you have to make the right gesture, and one is the key press. And I have three corresponding actions to it. One is the correct key is being displayed. One is the incorrect key is being displayed, and the other is nothing is being displayed on the screen. So in the first rule, if you don't make the right gesture and if you don't press any key, nothing should be displayed. Second rule, if you make the right gesture and if you press the key, it should display the correct character. Then in the third rule, if you don't make the right gesture but you press a key, so and the incorrect character would be displayed. And in rule 4, if you make the right gesture but don't press any key, nothing would be displayed. So the test cases for this would be this, like for in test case ID 1, if I drag the object like in a swiping motion, and if I don't press any key, then nothing should be displayed in the text box area or the screen. And if I make as you can see in test case ID 2, if I make a pressing gesture and then I press a key, the corresponding, like whatever key I've pressed should be displayed on the screen. For the third one, if I make a swiping gesture and I press a key, then nothing should, like, the incorrect one should be displayed. And for the fourth one, if I press a key, but like if I make the right gesture, but I don't press a key, then nothing should be displayed. And that's it.
How many test cases? 4. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. How many? So 4 you are taking care about.
Yes, ma'am. Like for the typing and displaying functionality, only 4.
Okay. Any of the thing what you are going to not going to cover into these many of test cases?
As in?
As in, there must be some of the conditions which are not being covered into these many of test cases for the login, or what the other functionality you said? Clicking.
Yes, ma'am. Like that's the gesture. Like I'm using an object to as an
Mm-hmm.
input method, right? So if I make a clicking gesture on the screen
Uh-huh.
with the object,
Uh-huh.
then that key should be displayed. So if I
Okay.
hover over the letter N and suppose I make a gesture with the object like I'm clicking on it, then N
Uh-huh.
should be displayed on the screen.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay. So
so
now can you do one
that
thing?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you do one thing to this, that, okay, because we are really not aware of that how exactly the things can be done at the time of development. So there are the chances. So if this kind of dynamicity exists over there, so you need to include the what we can say is you need to have this particular flexibility into your decision tree, so that the things are going to work for you. Are you getting my point?
Kind of.
Yeah. So I need to have this particular functionality for my decision table, so it can be dynamically extended based on the requirement. Okay.
Okay.
And while extending dynamically, there should not be any kind of changes. So otherwise, if you are going to change it dynamically, and because of that extension, if there are any of the ripple effects, okay, so in that case, your other test cases also may go in a different manner.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Ma'am, can I
Anyone
stop
else?
sharing the screen?
Sure. Anyone
Thank you.
else? All the participants? Anyone else would like to give?
Ma'am, I'm a little confused. I mean,
Yes, go ahead.
I think on the basis of my topic, there are going to be only 2 test cases.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. First will be if the username and password is correct, and then if the assignment assigned to a particular division or a course can be viewed by that student only to that specific course is true, and if the like PDF restriction is there for the assignments and the answers, that is true, then only the result will be true. And the second test case would be that if all are false, then the result will be false.
Okay, okay.
Because
Okay, so how
if
many
you log in, then
conditions do
only
you
you.
have, Satvik?
Hmm?
How many conditions are you going to have?
Conditions, yeah, I'm saying 2, yeah.
How many?
2.
2. That means you are going to have how many things? 4.
And I'm a
4
little
test
confused.
cases.
Okay, I'm a little confused in this. Can
Yeah.
I present?
You would like to present right now? Shall I give you the presenter right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Satvik, you are a presenter right now.
Yes. Yes, I'm a little confused with this.
Is the username correct? Is the password correct? Do you
Yes.
remember yesterday what we have done? Username is correct and password is correct. So I'm going to log in.
Yes.
Username is correct, password is wrong. Username is
If
incorrect,
both are wrong,
password is
then
correct.
Obviously you can't log into the system. So that's why it's
No, but
combined.
there are going to be the 4 test cases.
Okay. Okay.
Username is correct,
Yeah.
password is correct, both are incorrect,
Hmm.
and any one of it is correct.
Okay.
So I'm going to have 4 test cases.
Okay, and then my doubt was that obviously now when you have both of the trues, username and password, then only you'll reach into the second case, or like the other two cases after logging in. So uh, then obviously they both have to be true to for these two cases to be true. Am I right? Yeah. Am I
No,
correct?
come again.
Like these two, username and password, have to be true for
Yes,
the last
yes.
the two.
Then only you will move to the home screen or whatever the screen.
Yes.
Okay. But the functionality can be different. So it is a functionality wise testing what we are doing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. I hope you are clear now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything? Okay. So let me. Anyone else would like to present? Akansha? Are you there, Akansha? Are you there, Akansha? Yeah. Who is your teammate? Or you are alone? Can you present yourself? You can use your chat box to interact with me.
Ma'am, I'm a developer.
Who is it? Krishna. Okay, Krishna, shall I give you the presenter rights?
I didn't know we had to make a presentation about
Okay, if not presentation, you can tell me. No issues.
it. Yes. Ma'am, I did
Yeah.
draw a rough time, but it's very ugly. I don't think you'll
What
understand.
happened?
Ma'am, I did draw a rough diagram, but it's not very clear, so I don't think I should present.
But you can tell
Ma'am,
me. We can discuss.
uh, in our project, there was a small module where we had to do the payment part. I've just the thing is that I've now been present in the few classes because of my internet connection. So I've completely relied on the book which you gave. In that there's a condition stub, there's an action stub, and then then the rule. So I got three conditions where it says first you have to
Can you
approve
mute
that.
yourself? There is a voice coming in. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Krishna.
I had three conditions which says that condition one, the account is already approved, and then the second condition, the OTP has to be matched, and the third condition is there's sufficient amount in the account. I wish I could send you the diagram somehow. The action stub is transfer money, otherwise show there's a message insufficient amount, or cancel the transaction. Now if all the conditions are true, the money will be transferred.
So how
There's
many test
insufficient amount.
cases you are going to have and how many conditions, Krishna?
Ma'am, three conditions. So test cases will be two. Ma'am, 8.
8. Yeah, 2 to the power 8, 3. Okay, fine. So 8 test cases you are going to have for the decision
8.
table.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Conditions are true. Transfer money. Otherwise, the other sufficient.
So can you tell me the two conditions or two scenarios when all the conditions are going to return to true or all the conditions are going to be false?
Ma'am, if all conditions are true, then the amount will be transferred. Fine. That is conditions are false. The transaction itself will cancel, or
Okay.
you'll have, and there are chances where if the OTP is wrong, the same thing will happen. Transaction will be.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So, but when you say the OTP is wrong, so everything goes in the false.
Yes, ma'am. It has to be. Ma'am,
So OTP is wrong. I'm already paid me
Yes, even if all the things are true, but still it has to go to the false as output. Isn't it? Because OTP is wrong. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
Internet is weak.
not a problem, not a problem. Okay,
That is
fine. Is done, Krishna? Fine. Anyone else would like to say? Anubhav, Del, Devansh, Ritik, are you there, Ritik?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so would you like to say something?
No, ma'am.
No, you haven't tried?
No, I haven't done it yet.
Okay, your approach, can you tell me?
Mm. I'm still trying to understand the whole thing. I haven't done it yet.
I'm okay that you're still trying to understand, but I would like to know your understanding level.
Ma'am, so I have a basic idea understanding that
Yeah, please go
so
ahead and
we have
discuss.
a
Yeah.
few tests. We'll have a few test cases, and then if it so and then we'll have two conditions that it's either true or false. So in order for it to pass, both the things have to be true or something like that, I think.
So, Krishnan, not Krishnan, Ritik, how much time it will take for you to go through the things?
I'll be ready with it by the next lecture.
So, just take care about it. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, you need to be ready. And because the things are, I need to go through the white box testing because the people who are not going to give today, and if they are not going to come with their own doubts, so I'm going to assume that, okay, you know everything now. Okay, and please take care about this platform is open for the discussion. So there is nothing that how do I ask the question. It is just you can discuss your thoughts. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm ready to present. Just give
Right.
me some time while I log in from my computer.
Kshitish, fine, not a problem. Okay.
Thank you.
Pranay Khurana, Rahul Goyal, Rahul Nair.
Ma'am, Rahul Nair is in my group.
Who's whose group?
Krishnan. Yes.
Krishnan. Okay, fine. Saima Beg, Sanskar, Sukanya, Shiv. Yeah. Anyone would like to say? Able to complete the work? Okay. No issue, Simon. See, I'm not asking to complete the work. I would like to have your thought process of one particular functionality. I'm not saying to present yourself like the Krishnan. He has very nicely discussed the things, that how exactly the things are. Okay. So this is the thing what I expect. I'm not bothered about whether you have done the presentation or not.
Yes, ma'am. May I?
Yeah, who is it?
This is Kshitish, ma'am. May I present?
Yeah. Just hold on. I will give the presenter rights. Yeah, Kshitish, here you go.
So yes, I'm just. Is my PPT visible?
Yeah, it is.
So moving, continuing to black boxing. That
Mm-hmm.
is, so ultimately this is a very specialized area of testing, and in case of
Mm-hmm.
games, you need a general, what do you call it, a specialization skill, because it's you're not testing the functionality of any software where it could like help people in any manner, but you're actually testing an like entertainment product.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, what happens is that when you test a gaming or a game particular, whether it's an Android game or any other sort of game, you do not test the function itself, but you check like whether the character design or whether the models or so are interacting as they should.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is this, like there's very like little difference between them, but it's still a form of specialization, and it has like a major differences in terms of like testing it. So when we bring in like foreign testers or like just general testers who are
Mm-hmm.
not working for the company but are on contract basis, so their purpose is to complete the game and to report any bugs or anything that they encounter while playing it, so that
Mm-hmm.
before the initial or the final release of the product they could like fix it. What happened was that like this is one of the like developers or like artists that I know, so he developed this 3D model
Mm-hmm.
for this particular game which was famous for Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to ensure that the model is perfectly functioning with the game, and also that the mesh character, which is a kind of a concept used in
Mm-hmm.
gaming, is completely interactive with the model. More importantly, coming to this flow chart, so this was a flow chart of a 1994 game
Mm-hmm.
where certain items are received once a particular item is received. So, unlike the design that is made in general software, gaming doesn't have that. It is it is software only, but you cannot decide the same way in games.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say if I get a fairy ocarina, then I only after that I will get the songs, or
Mm-hmm.
after I get the bomb back, I can get the Goron Ruby. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how the structure is followed. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a conditional basis that okay, if certain button is pressed or a certain character reaches a certain area, then he can progress the level, or then he can go to the next level. Or if he collects a certain number of coins, or if Pac-Man eats a certain number of dots, then
Mm-hmm.
and there only you can access the next area. There is no other like form of conditional or what do you call it setting there.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that you cannot actually protect the algorithm, because there are many different ways to implement the same gameplay style with different algorithms. So you cannot have a copyright or a patent on that. But what you can protect is like the release and the details of the game. So when people are testing your game, they do not reveal it to the public so as to create a hype or to ruin the fun for them, because that affects your sales.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, uh, ultimately, it's since like I said, it's a entertainment product. It's not a general use software.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it matters in the end. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it, ma'am. That's all I have for the
Okay.
time being.
Okay. How many test cases you are going to have?
It depends from game to game, ma'am. Depending
No,
how
so
large my
it's
game is.
not a game to game. You need to take care about the conditions. Okay. So when you say you take the one functionality Kshitij, and that particular functionality you need to test it with respect to some of the conditions, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And you need to take care about those conditions, and then only that functionality can be, functionality can be tested.
Yes, ma'am. So on that itself, like I said, the reason I said game to game, because every game has a particular genre, like a music or a TV series or anything.
Mhm.
So the features of that particular game would depend on the genre itself, and is certain things like such as if I take the classic example like Pac-Man. So I have to eat all the dots before I get to a certain level. Or when I eat the cherry, I can
Mm-hmm.
only then and then I can eliminate the ghost. Otherwise, the ghost will eliminate me. So those are the features in Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly, in the presentation, if you can see the flow chart, I can get certain items only after I get the previous item or I defeat the previous boss. So
Mm-hmm.
defeating the boss or like progressing to a level are certain common features which are very common in the games itself. But to specify on a very specific feature or a particular feature that is unique to the game, that will
Mm-hmm.
depend upon the game itself as to what type of gameplay experience I'm trying to develop.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it, man.
Fine, fine, fine. Okay, but whenever you are going to take care about, you need to document all the things, Kshitij. So when you
Yes,
set
ma'am.
your decision table and when you are testing the things, you must be aware of how many conditions you are going to have. And
I
according
have
to,
a design document ready of a particular game that I was going to
but how
prepare.
many conditions? Still the question is unanswered that how many conditions? Because
Yeah, I can share that with you if you want.
no, design document I really do
I
not
just
want.
need to.
What I want for in if you take any of the functionality of the game design. So in that case, that how can you test those functionalities? So there are going to be the different conditions by which you are going to test the functionality. I just want the number of conditions to be there so that those many of the test cases you are going to create.
Man, there
Okay,
is
Kshitij.
not a set number in this case. That's what it makes
Exactly.
it
So
different
that's
from
what if
general
you
problem.
remember, I asked, I do not remember how I asked whom I have asked this particular thing. But I asked that okay, your decision table must be absorb the dynamicity where the things are getting changed or if the conditions are getting changed.
Yes, ma'am. Uh, I guess like to a certain extent that applies, but
Uh-huh.
I cannot explain it like this. I need to show
Or
my
you can
document
send
for
it to
this.
me, send it to me, but do not
Yes, ma'am.
send me over the mail, send WhatsApp me just. Okay? Until unless I direct
Okay,
you,
ma'am.
please do not send anyone, all the participants, please do not send me the mail. Okay?
I can still present the document. I have it on my system.
Okay, okay, okay. No, it's fine.
So
I just want only those numbers so that you can actually explain how really the flow of the
yeah,
conditions are
this
going
is
to work.
for a particular like game that I wanted to design. So I have like decided on the features and everything. So if
Okay.
I have the chance to present the document, maybe I think I will be able to relay what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm aware of that because I have seen your presentation lots of time, Kshitij.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
aware. That's what I was remembering. Okay, you're having the game design as here, but I only want those conditions when the, when everything is going to be false and when everything is going to be true.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. So I will dismiss
Yes,
you
ma'am.
from the presenter list.
Thank you.
Yeah. And all the
Yes.
participants, please take care about if we have not discussed these things. So I assume that you do not have any of the problem in understanding the decision table because in the next session we are going to take care about the white box testing. So please take note on this. And I hope that you are done with the problems what I asked you to do. So there are no issues as well. Fine, so just take care about it. Okay. So let me download the attendance right now. So all the best, all the participants. Stay healthy and stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Let me stop the recording and all the participants as soon as I